Welcome to the virtual college fair for North Hunterdon High School. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website. Now I would like to turn it over to our first presenter, Moravian College.
Hi, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. My name is Juliana Young. I am the Assistant Director of Admission at Moravian College and really excited and thankful that you were able to join us this evening to learn a little bit more about all of the institutions involved here. So Moravian College is a small private liberal arts institution located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, so about 40 minutes from North Hunterdon High School. I've been there a numerous number of times, so I hope there are some familiar faces in the crowd. In Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, we are a small historic college town. Across the river from us is Lehigh University, if you're familiar with that institution. Lehigh, Moravian, DeSales, Cedar Crest, and Muhlenberg all do make up the LVAIC system, Lehigh Valley Association of Independent Colleges. Moravian College is a smaller institution, meaning we have about 1,900 students on our campus, and our average class size is about 17, and our student-faculty ratio is 11:1. What does that mean for you as a student? You are absolutely going to have individualized attention and experience in the classroom. And even more so on the academic side, having experiential learning that is hands-on and taking you further into the career that you are hoping to get into after 4 years and after graduation. Our academic programs are pretty varied. One of our larger, more competitive programs on campus is nursing, but next to those by number are economics and business, education, health sciences, psychology, and sociology make up for the other large numbers of academic majors. Being a liberal arts institution means that we have various academic majors across many different disciplines. And within all of those, again, that experiential learning is something that is really large and emphasized and encouraged to all of our students. At Moravian College, our incoming freshman class is scoring right around the metrics you should see at the top of your screen, a 3.5 GPA and around an 1100 on the SATs. Moravian College is test optional for all non-nursing applicants. So if you are looking to apply to Moravian, be it this year or next, we are test optional again for all non-nursing applicants. Happy to have a conversation about the caveat of this year as it applies to the kind of struggle of securing an SAT or an ACT amid COVID. So happy to have those and answer those questions in the chat. On our campus, we have a very robust student life and athletics department and teams. We're Division III athletics, newly 22 athletic teams on our campus. We recently added both men's and women's swimming to our school, which we're very, very excited about. First team starting in the fall of 2021. All of our athletic teams do perform in the Landmark Conference, with the exception of football. They do play in the Centennial Conference. If you do have any interest in playing athletics at Moravian, I am going to point you toward moraviansports.com, which is our athletics website, where you can find all of our coaches' information as well as the recruiting form for individual athletic sports. On our campus, we have a lot of different opportunities, as I mentioned, that are experiential based. For that reason, we are one of the top institutions for return on investment, looking at the institution. The job trajectory following graduation is really, really great. About 96% of our students are securing full-time work or graduate school within 6 months of graduation. So that is a number that we are extremely proud of and excited to support our students in that. In the top right-hand corner, you should see that we are an Apple Distinguished Institution. So what does that mean? Every single student that enrolls at Moravian College is given a MacBook Pro and an iPad. That cost is covered over your 4 years as a student, and that technology is utilized obviously in your 4 years at Moravian, but it's yours to keep after graduation as the cost is built into tuition. Being an all MacBook campus is something that we especially now, are taking a lot of pride in incorporating technology into the classroom, and every single student, faculty member, and staff member are on a level playing ground. So it's something that we're excited to be able to continue on our campus. We are going into our 6th year of an Apple Distinguished Institution and excited to continue that. Outside of that, we have clubs and organizations that span far and wide, from a knitting club all the way to Student Nurses Association and our pre-health club. So getting involved and interacting with our campus community, again, is going to be encouraged beyond the classroom and beyond athletics. Happy to answer any questions that you all have in the chat below. I am the counselor that works directly with North Hunterdon, so feel free to connect with me either tonight or at a later date. Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Moore College of Art and Design.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. Give me just a moment to share my screen and we'll get started. So as they mentioned, my name is Genevieve Arnone, or Gigi. I am the admissions counselor who handles students from North Hunterdon. So yes, I would be your counselor. So for more specifically, obviously we are technically the first and only all-women's art and design school in the US. But that being said, we also have the distinction of updating our gender policy, which is as follows. We accept applications from all who live as or identify as gender non-binary, those who identify as gender fluid or gender non-conforming. So really and truly, we pride ourselves on being an institution with a long history of serving those individuals who have been historically underrepresented, specifically within the arts. So as you can see, listed there on the right are 9 of our majors. The newest major that we have launched has been our film major, which is going to have a bunch of different specializations within the major. So will not just be kind of a generic major, but really will give you the opportunity to do a deeper dive in a specific area of film that you're interested in. That being said, our students often do double major or double minor even. As you can see, about 35% of our 2020 class alone had a minor or a double minor. You can minor in all of our majors with the exception of art education. Additionally, we also offer creative writing, business, and textile design as all major minors that you can opt into. And then in the classroom, we're about 8 to 1, meaning there's about 8 students to 1 professor in the classroom. We're about 400 students total for undergrad. But that being said, we are in the heart of Philadelphia. So you are in a big city, but in a small, tight-knit community. For art students in particular, this is obviously a huge win because when you are doing something as personal and hands-on, quite literally, as studying fine art or digital art, to have your professors know who you are, your strengths and your weaknesses, where you need help and where you need a little bit more encouragement is going to be crucial to your development as both an artist and a creative professional. On that professional note, the first step is obviously how to apply. So just like every other college, a completed and submitted application, a copy of your transcripts, and then a portfolio, which I'll talk a little bit about more in a second. Optional materials are going to be letters of recommendation. If you have someone that wants to brag about you, I'd absolutely want to read that letter. Personal essays. Obviously, there's kind of a generic prompt, but welcome to art school where we ask you to break the rules. So if you're interested in maybe creative writing, or if there's something that you think I wouldn't be able to glean from your transcripts and application or portfolio, then I totally would recommend submitting a personal essay that that would reflect that. And finally, we have been a test optional school for many years. So even with the challenges with COVID, do not worry. If you're unable to take the SATs or the ACTs, you will not be penalized in any way. So you still have just as good of a chance as being accepted as someone who may have taken them, as well as you're not required to take them in order to be considered for scholarships. That being said, as you can see in that big red bubble up there, 100% of my accepted students receive some form of scholarship or merit-based aid from the college. Obviously, the better the grades, the better the portfolio, the better the scholarship, but that scholarship is one that is renewable annually. So long as you keep up your grades, you will continue to get that scholarship. Next is our top tier program, which I'm happy to say that every single student that attends more in every single major gets a $1,000 stipend from the college to have a paid internship. Should that internship wish to pay you on top of that, you obviously will get our stipend plus that compensation from your intern company. These are not, simply assigned to students and it's just kind of luck of the draw, but they are entirely contingent upon what it is that you want to do with your degree. And of course, generally speaking, about 65% of all students who have an internship while they're an undergraduate get offered a position from that interning company. This is also the reason why for the past 5 years or more, we've been at around 94% in being able to place our students in a job in their field or in graduate school in their field within the first year of them graduating. Just to give you an idea of some of the places that our students have secured jobs at, obviously you may recognize some of these logos. With that, obviously there's different roles that students can participate in when they're an intern, but they can also apply for a travel fellowship grant for an additional $3,000 if they wanted to go abroad or perhaps go to the East Coast or the West Coast even to pursue a company that they're really interested in. So last but not least, always about showing the artwork. This is usually the thing I get the most questions about. So of course, if you do have questions, feel free to either jot down my contact information in that blue bubble, or of course you could always ask it into the chat. But you can meet with me virtually and I can have you screen share your work, give you some feedback, and it can be totally informal. Or of course, you can attend one of the national virtual portfolio days that they're having for students all across the country. Not to mention, we also offer things like portfolio boot camps, live virtual tours with our on-campus students, and then virtual info sessions as well. If you have any questions into the chat now, I will go ahead and answer them. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Shippensburg University.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. All right, so my name is Shalia Kinsey. I am from Shippensburg University. We are located in central Pennsylvania. We're about 2.5 hours away from North Hunterdon High School. I am a Shippensburg University alum. I graduated in 2016 with my bachelor's in communications, and I love SHIP so much that I decided to come back and work for SHIP. So I'm very excited to share this excellent information with you guys. So just to give you a bit, again, we are located in Shippensburg, PA. We have about 6,000 students enrolled in our university, so we are a mid-sized institution. We have about 5,000 undergraduate and 1,000 graduate students. Our average classroom size is 23 students. I can tell you from personal experience that I've never been in a class of more than 30 students. Freshman year, the average is about 30, but my senior year, I was in a class of as little as 10 students. So it really allowed for me to have a personal interactions with my professors and fellow students in the classroom. We have over 100 different majors and minors to choose from, which I'll talk more deeply about in a second. And we have over 150 student clubs or organizations that you can be a part of. We have 7 residence halls, 6 suite style, and 1 traditional. And we also have 14 different dining options. SHIP also has 20 NCAA Division II sports teams, which we are very competitive. And I can discuss more about sports in a brief moment. So with academics, we have 3 colleges, our Exploratory Studies program and our Woods Honors College. With the College of Arts and Science, you'll find programs like psychology, biology, our School of Engineering, which houses mechanical, electrical, software, civil, and computer engineering. We're the only state system institution in Pennsylvania to have 5 different engineering programs, all 4 years solely at Shippensburg University. We also offer political science and communication journalism. For our communication journalism program, we are 1 in 3 in the state of Pennsylvania to be accredited, with students concentrating in areas including electronic media, print media, and public relations. And there's also many more. College of Arts and Sciences has the most majors amongst all of our colleges. With our John L. Grove College of Business, we have been ranked top 6% in the world due to our accreditation. We have marketing, management, finance, accounting, entrepreneurship, and many more. We are 5th in the nation for our CPA test passing rates, and we also offer a 5-year MBA option for all of our accounting students. We have opportunities to work in our real-time stock exchange realm, with our Small Business Development Center and our Entrepreneurial Leadership Center. So you can take those skills that you're learning in the classroom and apply it to real life businesses and situations. We also have our College of Education and Human Services. Our roots are in teaching. Of course, we expanded since then, but we are the only school in the state of Pennsylvania to have an on-campus lab school. So you'll be able to do hands-on work with students in the classroom very early on in your college career. And we offer education degrees at all levels. We also offer social work, exercise science, criminal justice, and military science. If you're undecided, there's no worries. I started off college undecided myself. 30% of our students come in undecided, and our advisors do a great job of helping them explore the majors that align with their career goals at their own pace. For housing, I mentioned earlier, we have 6 suite-style residence halls and 1 traditional style hall. With the suites, you can choose your room option, and you can choose from all different options. You don't have to worry about sharing a bathroom with the entire floor. It's only 2 students to a bathroom in our residence hall, our suite-style residence halls. With the traditional style, you do have to share the bedroom with your entire floor. The bathroom with the entire floor, and the bedroom with your roommate. But you guys get to choose your roommates, and all of our rooms are controlled by your temperature, however you would like. We also have 14 different dining options, including unlimited meals, and we have Raider Bucks that you can use at off-campus locations. Just a little bit about campus life. We have 20 Division II sports teams on our campus. Football, women's field hockey team has won 3 out of the last 6 national championships. We also offer women's and men's baseball, women's softball, women's and men's basketball, swimming, and track and field. We have over 150 student clubs or organizations, which ranges from student government and student media, interest-based organizations, religious organizations, and you do have the opportunity to start your own club. We pride ourselves on growing our diversity population over the last few years. With our Pride Center, our Multicultural Student Affairs Office, and our Women's Center, there's plenty of places for students of all different backgrounds to go to and find a great space to be safe and connect with people who live life just like them. So to apply to Shippensburg University, all you have to do is go to ship.edu/apply. We are on the Common App, and if you search for Shippensburg University, you can find us. We are test optional for fall 2021. All we need is your high school transcript. We are rolling admissions, so there's no deadlines. Once you complete your application and we have all of your materials, we normally get a decision back to you within 24 to 72 hours. And the application fees can be waived. We do have a $45 application fee. We accept College Board fee waivers. We accept NACAC fee waivers. And I do have a personal fee waiver code that I will share at the end of this presentation. If you would like to come visit Shippensburg University, we are offering on-campus visits through our Raider Day visit. You'll be able to come to campus, get an admissions presentation, and take a walking tour of our university. We also offer virtual tours, and we also have a virtual open house coming up this Saturday, so you can register for that at ship.edu/visit. And this is my contact information. Again, my name is Shalia Kinsey. If you have any questions, you can always call me or text me, email me, and at the bottom you have our fee waiver code. So feel free to take a picture of this page and reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great one.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from the University of Connecticut. Also, just a reminder, you can send in your Q&A questions at any time.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Eric Chitties, and I am one of the admission officers here for the University of Connecticut. And my territory, of course, is New Jersey, so I'll be the one reading your applications and helping you through the admissions process. Tonight I'm just going to talk a little bit about the admissions process, our campuses, the academics, things like that. So the University of Connecticut, of course, is the main public institution for the state of Connecticut. We have about 24,000 undergraduate students across our 5 campuses. And of course, our flagship campus is in a town called Storrs, and we have about 19,000 undergraduate students there. So technically about a medium-sized campus. Our Storrs campus is about a half an hour away from Hartford, which is Connecticut's capital. About an hour and a half from Boston, about 2 hours from New York City, and probably about 3 hours or so from you in New Jersey. It's a nice central location with tons of extra benefits, being that connected to a lot of northeastern cities. Professionally speaking, we see a lot of opportunities for internships, for careers, for alumni engagement, networking opportunities, being that close to New York City, Boston, Providence, and Philadelphia, but also tons of personal benefits as well, being able to kind of go on a weekend trip to see like a Red Sox game or to a Broadway show at discounted prices. We do a lot of that at UConn, which is really great. In terms of the campus itself, I always described it as a city school that's kind of tucked away in the woods. You get all the elements of a big school in terms of the energy, the excitement, the opportunities, but none of the drawbacks in terms of large campuses, you know, having 40, 50,000 people, not too big of a campus to walk across, only about 15 minutes or so from one end to the other end. So it has all the elements of a big school, while also having all the elements of a small school in terms of having a pretty green campus. There are tons of trees and grassy fields and agriculture and gardens and things like that. So all the elements of a big school while also having all the elements of a small school as well. When it comes to the academics, we have about 115 majors in about 10 different schools and colleges. Our more well-known programs are going to be within our School of Business, School of Engineering, and our School of Nursing. Those are some of our flagship and competitive programs. We have a very popular College of Arts and Sciences. Over 40% of our students are enrolled in majors in there. We also do fine arts, we do education, we do pharmacy, we do agriculture. So whatever you're trying to study at UConn, we can most likely offer to you through an official degree. If you are coming in completely undecided, that's going to be perfectly fine. Over a quarter of our incoming class do, so about 1,000 students each year come in as undecided. You'll be taking general education classes your first year and your sophomore year, the same way students that are already in declared majors are going to be taking them. So it's not going to take you off track for graduation. You can still graduate in the normal 4 years. You'll be taking classes the same way as everyone else is, while working with your advisor to figure out what majors you may like and what majors you don't like, and kind of applying from there. We also do offer something called an individualized major program where students kind of pick and choose courses from different curriculum to kind of make their own major on their own, just in case you're looking for something very specific. Our average class size is about 28 to 34 students, and we have a student faculty ratio of about 16 to 1. So classes really aren't terribly big. They'll start out big your first year, second year, but as you move up, your classes get a lot smaller. I believe only 5% of our classes are more than 100 students, so not too big as you kind of move up into your major. Other things we offer academically is, of course, we do have an honors college. There is no separate application to our honors college, so all you need to do is apply on time to UConn. You're automatically considered for our honors program. And we do offer special programs in medicine, law, dental medicine, education, and things like that. Not set majors you need to do at UConn. They are more of just academic advisories attached to your plan of study to help you get prepared for medical school or law school or anything like that. So they do have a separate application for that. That's going to be handled as an incoming freshman, but not a separate major. You can study anything you want while having that special program added onto your plan of study. In terms of campus life, UConn, again, is going to be big enough to offer opportunities in anything you're looking for. We have over 700 different student clubs and organizations, and they range from all over the place. So whatever you like to do outside the classroom, again, we can most likely offer to you. We are also Division I for about 24 different teams. We are well known for our basketball programs as well as baseball, soccer, track and field, and things like that. We also offer about 30 different club teams and tons of intramural sports. So whatever you're trying to get involved in athletically, we could also offer to you as well. Outside of those two things, whatever you're looking to do, we have programs in. We are a tier 1 research institution. So if you're trying to get involved in research outside the classroom, that could be manageable as soon as your first year. We also offer about 30 different fraternities and sororities with about 14% of our students involved in Greek life. So that's a very popular option. And we also offer 5 different culture centers on our campus as well. So again, whatever you're trying to get involved in, whether it's research, education abroad, or clubs and activities, we could definitely offer that to you. When it comes to the pricing, overall, we're about $53,000 a year for our out-of-state students. We have a lot of financial aid options to kind of weigh that down. All you need to do is complete your FAFSA form and submit it to our university by February 15th, and you're going to be eligible for financial aid. In terms of merit-based scholarships, we also offer that as well to our out-of-state students. They range from about $15,000 to $25,000 a year in terms of how much is going to be awarded for our out-of-state students, and there is no separate application. So all you need to do is apply to the University of Connecticut on time by our January 15th deadline, and you are automatically considered for those merit-based scholarships. When it comes to the application process, we are on the common application or the coalition application. Whatever you want to use is going to be perfectly fine for us. We are completely test optional for this year and for the next 3 years. And we do require the essay in the application and the transcripts, but we do not require letters of recommendation. So again, completely test optional this year. No need to submit an SAT or an ACT if you do not want to. When it comes to the application review, we're going to be completely holistic, which means we are looking at every single part of the application. So it's not going to just be based off of the grades and the courses, but we're also going to take a look at extracurriculars, your leadership experience, your essay and letters and rec and things like that. So just make sure you are spending time on your application. And then just lastly, some dates to know. December 1st is our prior to consideration deadline just for honors and scholarships, not early action, not early decision. All applications need to be in by January 15th. And then all decisions are released on March 1st. So again, in by January 15th, out by March 1st. And that's all set. And any questions you have, I can answer in the chat throughout this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Widener University.
Okay, let's get my screen shared here. All right, I'm going to try to do something a touch different. And first off, my name is David Adams, and I am a member of the admissions team at Widener University. Stephen Fadouk, who is the admission counselor for Northern New Jersey, sends his best. Unfortunately, he is a touch under the weather and is unable to attend this evening. But Widener is a small university of about 3,000 students. We are located about an hour and a half south of North Hunterdon High School. And I'm gonna show a little aerial tour and try not to get distracted by my video while I tell you more about Widener. But Widener is a small school of about 3,500 students. I think that's a perfect size for our students because it allows our students not only to be in an institution that is relatively large, but also small enough to provide them a lot of individualized attention. Our classes average between 15 and 25 students, depending on what your major is and what program of study you're pursuing. The campus itself, as we're zooming around on video, while it looks rather large, is actually very walkable. It's only about 150 acres. We do run shuttles around campus. And while that is not necessary, you do have the opportunity to ride a shuttle around campus as well as to off-campus locations like Target or Walmart or the grocery store or even the local regional rail line to go into Philadelphia. We are located 14 miles south of Philadelphia, and this is a great advantage for our students because it provides our students access to not only the things that a major city like Philadelphia can provide, like internships and research and all those types of things, but it also provides our students an opportunity to get into a great college community. There are 75 colleges and universities within an hour of the Widener campus. And that provides our students a really great college community to live in. Philadelphia also provides our students great cultural opportunities, learning opportunities, and just opportunities for fun as well. Widener has 5 different academic colleges: a College of Arts and Sciences, a College of Business, a College of Engineering, a College of Health and Human Services, as well as a School of Nursing. Nursing is our largest program of study. We have 130 nurses in this year's freshman class. Engineering is our second largest program of study, and we offer now 7 different types of engineering. Our newest engineering program is a program called International Engineering, and it's a dual diploma program between French and engineering. So you actually get 2 different diplomas, one in engineering and one in French. And as part of that program, you do get the opportunity to not only intern abroad, but also study abroad as well. So there's some pretty exciting opportunities. Other really great programs of study at Widener include communication arts, psychology, and business as well. We offer some really amazing business programs, and business at Widener is our 3rd most popular program of study. We also offer we also have 2 law school campuses. So we do have our own law school campus. And our law school is actually, there are 2 campuses. One of them is south of Philadelphia, outside of Wilmington, Delaware. And the other one is just outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We're very, very big into experiential learning. And part of that, and that experiential learning can take the form of a lot of different things. It can be research, it could be student teaching experiences, it could be study abroad, it could be a number of different things. One of the greatest things, one of the most interesting things that I think we do is we do offer a co-op experience as part of our program, of some of our programs of study. In engineering, business, and computer science, we offer a co-op. And what I like to say is a co-op is kind of like an internship on steroids. So while your classmates are getting up and going to class at 9 o'clock in the morning, when you're on a co-op semester, you actually get up and you go to work rather than going to class. So Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, you report to a job at perhaps one of these excellent companies that you see here on this screen. These are just some of the hundreds of industry partners that we work with to provide our students research, internships, co-ops, all the clinical experiences. And likewise, these companies are the ones that end up hiring our students as well. When you're on your co-op, you actually are in a paid position, and you do not pay tuition during those semesters that you attend co-op as well. You're able to participate like a student on campus. So you're, if you play a sport, you you participate in your games and in your practices and those types of things. If you can live in the residence halls, you can in the dining hall, you can do all the things a normal student does, but rather than going to class those days, you actually go to your job. Likewise, our students go on to some great professional schools and things like that as well. And some of the best names in professional education are listed here. Again, our students go on to hundreds and hundreds of other colleges and universities across the country that you've never heard of as well. Lastly, we offer 24 Division III sports, over 80 clubs and organizations. 90% of our freshmen and sophomores live on campus, and we guarantee housing all 4 years. It is a residential community at Widener. If you would like to apply for admission, you can see some of our freshman profile here. We do offer test optional, actually test blind admission, so we don't use test scores, even if you submit them, if you are applying in a test optional fashion. If you do have test scores, or you're lucky enough to have ones that you're happy with, you can apply with your test scores. The only difference in the ways you apply, if you apply with test scores, your essay is optional. If you apply without test scores, your essay is not optional. We are a member of Common App, as well as we have our own Widener application. We do have an early action deadline of November 1st. And we do offer scholarships range from $18,000 a year up to $30,500 a year. And I'm happy to answer questions at the end of this.
Thank you. And lastly, we'll be hearing from Gwynedd University.
Thank you, Anna. Trying to get the ability to share with you guys. All right, so right now we're showing, and I can't share. Awesome. And I don't want to do this whole thing with you guys looking at me, but unfortunately, I'm not able to share. I'm from Gwynedd University. Gwynedd is about an hour from you, about 30 minutes north of Philadelphia. We are a school founded by the Sisters of Mercy of the Americas in 1948. Just hold on one second and let me try and, there we go. Perfect. Can you guys see that? Perfect. All right. So we have about 2,000 undergraduate students. Approximately 100% of our students, actually 100% of our students receive, 100% of our full-time, first-time students receive financial aid. including generous scholarship money. Our campus is about 314 acres. We just purchased 162 acres to make that 314. On that campus, which is right next to our contiguous campus here, we made a larger campus. There's actually a building that was purchased from Merck that was their test facility, their clinical test facility. We're actually converting that to a community medical center for some of our health services programs. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Our student to faculty ratio is 10 professors to every one student. We have about 30 majors. Talk a little bit about the majors. Specifically our nursing and health professional programs, medical lab science, nursing, occupational therapy, radiation therapy, radiologic therapy, and respiratory care. All of those will require, if you are not submitting an SAT or ACT score, all of them will require an interview and a letter of recommendation from either a math or science teacher in high school. Along with that, our accounting, biology, and psychology programs would also require an interview, as well as a letter of recommendation from a teacher at your high school. Again, 100% of our students are also our first-time full-time students participate in service, research, internships, or other real-world experiences. Our education professors are actually in a classroom as part of the teacher apprentice program for 8 semesters. So again, 4 years, 8 semesters, you're learning about being a teacher and actively becoming a teacher by doing it every step of the way. Right now we have 26 study abroad countries. A big part of our educational process is research and undergraduate research, where the collaboration takes place with faculty, presenting at national conferences. And we also have a conference here on our campus where many of our students will present posters and presentations. There are 19 Division III sports on our campus. We're looking at right now 10 intramural sports, and they are being added as we go. We have an intramural coordinator who is actively reaching out to the students. But again, it's a very small, very caring community. So we are guided by the Sisters of Mercy and kind of the caring and service to society that go with the Sisters of Mercy. We are a Catholic institution, but we do accept people of all faiths or no faith. We are, basically, we do not discriminate at all, but we are governed by the ideals and kind of the leadership of the Sisters of Mercy here at Gwynedd. So just want to get through here. So again, if you want to apply, we are enrolling admissions. Right now, we are currently making decisions. Actually, decisions, first ones will be sent out tomorrow. We have a number of decisions going out, but as a decision is made, as you apply with your information. So again, this year for first-time students, all you need is a completed application form, which you can apply on our website, gmercyu.edu. A completed application form, you submit your official high school transcripts. Certain majors will require the interview and submit one letter of recommendation, but the SAT and ACT scores are not required at all. Again, if you have them, we will absolutely look at them, but it's not required at all for any majors on our campus this year. Tuition for nursing and health professions, we're looking at $36,650, $34,650 for all other programs. This is a range of scholarships we're looking at. First-time students, presidential scholarships. Last year we gave 6 presidential scholarships. That's 100% of tuition. Macaulay, $18,000 or $19,000, and the Mother Mary Bernard scholarships for $13,000 to $17,000 per year. Apply for financial aid. It's important. Really appreciate you being with us tonight, but I think it's very important that you explore your options. The FAFSA form, complete it by January 15th, and we will actually give you a $1,000 priority grant. for the first-time students who submitted FAFSA by January 15th and list Gwynedd Mercy. So we'll give you a scholarship for that. But I would encourage you to explore all the schools that are presented here and in the other sessions this evening. Explore your options. I think it's something that's super important. If you are interested in seeing more about Gwynedd Mercy, we do have virtual tours every day, Monday through Friday. Some Saturdays we'll have a virtual tour. And thank you very much, and I appreciate your time. Again, if you need anything, admissions@gmercyu.edu. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to check out the full schedule. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions recordings at the same website. Thank you all.